binti Mansur.
My name is Nur Izzati binti Zahari.
My name is Siti Nur Hidayah binti Rosli.
My name is Nurain Huzaifah binti Arifin. The objective of payroll and personnel cycle is to evaluate whether the account balance affected in the cycle are fairly stated or otherwise. The payroll and personnel cycle involve employment and payment of all employees in the company. The difference between payroll and personnel cycle with other cycles are: first, payroll and personnel cycle has only one transaction, and the transactions are far more significant than related balance sheet accounts.
In payroll and personnel cycle, they have 4 business functions. First is human resource and employment, and the document that related is human resource record, deduction authorization form, and rate authorization form. And the second business function is timekeeping and payroll preparation, and the document that related is time record, job time ticket, payroll transaction file, payroll journal or listing, and payroll master file. And the third business function is payment of payroll, and the document that related is payroll direct deposit or check, and payroll bank account reconciliations. And the last business function is preparation of payroll tax return and payment of tax, and the document that related is EF form and payroll tax return. Okay, next is one of the management assertions that related to this cycle is occurrence, where the audit objective is to determine whether the actual payments were made and whether the payment were made to the real employees of the company. And the proposed internal control to secure this assertion is: first, to have a separation of duties among human resource, timekeeping, and payroll disbursement. And another internal control is to time record must be approved by a supervisor or authorized person.
Audit objective of completeness is existing payroll transactions are recorded. All transactions are included and recorded in that accounting period. Plus, all previous payroll transactions are tracked in the payroll and accounting records. Next, the key internal control for completeness are: the payroll checks are pre-numbered and accounted for, and the reconciliation of payroll summary and start and leave are documented in the personnel record.
Next, the audit objective related to the assertion is accuracy. The class of transaction related to this assertion are: the recorded wages and salary should be accurately calculated based on work performance and term of employment, and withholding are correctly calculated. So the proposed internal control in place to secure the assertion are: verification of payroll amount, review of payroll register for unusual amount, and proper authorization in the amount of salary paid and withholdings.
The audit objective of timing is to make sure that the transactions are recorded on the correct date. And the key internal control for this management assertion is to make sure that there are procedures required when recording transactions after payroll is paid.
For posting and summarization, the audit objective is: the transactions are included in the master file and are correctly summarized. Next, the key internal control for posting and summarization are: the total of payroll master will be compared to the total of the general ledger, and the payroll master contents will be internally verified.
Okay, now we want to see the classification. The class of transaction related to this assertion is: payroll transactions are correctly classified. So the proposed internal control in place to secure these assertions are adequate chart of account is used and account classification are internally verified.
For relevant accounts or ledger in management assertions, there are 4 accounts involved. The first one is payroll cash, the second one is payroll expense account, the third one is payroll withholding accounts, and the last one is payroll accruals account.
First is occurrence assertion, and the test of control is first to observe, examine and evaluate the proper segregation of duties. For example, the person who are responsible for authorize the employee benefit cost is not the same person who are responsible for recording. And second is review the human resource policy. Third is examine the human resource file. And fourth is examine the time record for indication of approval. And for completeness assertion, the test of control is to discuss with the employees and observe the reconciliations. And next is for accuracy assertion. The test of control is to examine payroll record for indication of authorization. And second is examine the authorization in human resource file. And third is examine the company's record to see whether the company has checked the arithmetical accuracy of employee benefit costs to ensure the amount are in accordance with employment contracts. And next is timing assertion, and the test of control is to examine the procedure, manual and observe when recording takes place. And next is posing and summarization assertion, and the test of control is to examine initial summary total report indicating that comparison have been made. And next is classification assertion, and the test of control is to first review the company procedure and inspect their record to verify there has been proper classification of employee benefit costs. And second is review the chart of account.
One of the audit procedure is substantive test. In this payroll cycle, the auditor can do some review, comparing, reconcile, recompute through the process of substantive test in the payroll cycle. For example, the auditor can review the payroll journal, general ledger and payroll earnings record for large or unusual amount and check with the supporting document. The second one, compare, cancel check or direct deposit information with human resources records. The third one, reconcile the disbursement in the payroll journal with the disbursement on the payroll bank statement. Lastly, the auditor can recompute the hours and payment that company made to the employees.
The substantive testing is to confirm whether the transactions are recorded appropriately and also to verify the information. And auditor usually use persuasive audit evidence rather than substantive procedure because it is internally generated. So, the assurance provided through the good substantive analytical processes will minimize the assurance required from the other tests.
Here, I will be explaining 5 analytical procedures, and these analytical procedures need to be compared between current year and previous year. The first one is compare payroll expense account. The second one is compare direct labor as a percentage of sales. The third one is compare commission expense as a percentage of sales. The fourth one is compare payroll tax expense account as a percentage of salary and wages. And the last one is compare accrued payroll tax account. The possible misstatement from the analytical procedures. The first one is possibility of misstatement payroll expense account. The second one is misstatement of direct labor and inventory. The third one is misstatement of commission expense and commission liability. The fourth one is misstatement of payroll tax expense and payroll tax liability. The last one is misstatement of accrued payroll tax and payroll tax expense.